Okay, right, here we are, dearly beloved. Thank you for joining us. I am here with Helen, who has been a client for quite some time now. And I would like to start by asking Helen to Helen, what were you, explain what you were experiencing before you started working with me.
Sure thing. So, if I can remember back that long, because it was a while now, I had been experiencing a sore, weird, achy leg probably for a couple of years, and I hadn't done anything about it. And so the weird leg was I'd wake up during the night and especially in the morning with very achy, especially on my left leg, all the way down, as well as my hips. And I didn't know what it was. And I saw a friend who was a physio for a couple of sessions, quite a few sessions, did lots of exercise with her. And then she said, I can't help you anymore. I think you should do some Pilates. Here's this lovely lady, Jodie. And I'd actually been following this crazy lady, Jodie, for a while. Didn't really know what to expect, but jumped on this call with her. And then we finally met.
Okay, all right. And I know that I wasn't your first rodeo because, as you said, you've been working with the physio, and she kind of got to the end of her tether. But when you came to me, or when you were considering me, was there anything? Did you have any reservations? Any any fears that I helped you to put to rest quite quickly?
Well, I had no idea what to expect getting on a call with you. My physio said you did Pilates. And so I thought maybe I can join a nice class of Pilates, which I'd never done before with you. And during that, I guess, discovery call, I learned that you did far more than that. And it was, I didn't really know who else to go to. I didn't really know what to expect. I just knew that I needed some more help, and you seemed like someone who was competent and I won't use the word holistic, but attack problems from many different angles. So I thought, yeah, why not? And then I remember going to the first session, and it was from your home because it was a special time
It
when
was.
you weren't using your studio, and you did something weird where you made me push my legs back onto the floor, onto the bed, and it was a really, really weird experience. And then I can't even remember what part of your body you massaged then, and then we did it again, and suddenly I had more strength in my legs. It was a very, very weird thing. So I walked away not really understanding how this all works. Actually, a year on, I still don't really understand how it all works. But I have been with you for more than a year now, so I guess I'm addicted to what you're doing. I don't know. No, but after that, Jodie, we you encouraged me to go and see a doctor to see, because you can only do so much in terms of the testing and that sort of thing. So you really encouraged me to go to a doctor, which I hadn't done for many, many years because I basically don't get sick. And so I was really happy that you encouraged me to do that, because I also then had you when I found out from the doctor that I potentially have some weird autoimmune disease. And you were able to make that a little bit more human for me in terms of what that meant and what the options would be, etc. And then I had to do what was an MRI and went to a specialist and all of this. And in the end, it wasn't that, but I do have inflammation in my sacroiliac, which is I learned many, many terms. So yeah, that's how I got to you and the other specialists that I saw, and then they sent me back for physio, but I continued to see you as well. And then the specialist wanted to put me on slow release anti-inflammatories forever. I
Mm.
sort of did that for a month and found myself very constipated, and I was like, I was only 42 at the time. I'm not interested in being on anti-inflammatories forever. Jodie, please continue to help me. Surely there are better ways than being on drugs forever.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so. And so then we got into a mixture of a lot of mindset work, a lot of nutrition, and carried on with the what you're referring to as neurokinetic therapy, which is, my specialty where you hold your legs on the bed and all the rest of it. And how did you find that experience? Did you think, shit, I came for Pilates and now I'm getting all of this other stuff? Or did you think, yeah, what did you think when you suddenly thought, bugger me, this is a whole rabbit hole?
But I still think, bugger me, this is a whole rabbit hole because we haven't really got to exactly the core issue. We've fixed some things. It's like peeling an onion. We've had our ups and downs. Um, I find it really difficult to explain what you do, but what I love is that I've got someone to go to when I've got all of those niggles. So I guess like many people and women over 40, particular probably, especially after having children, etc. I like being able to go and say to you, Jody, I woke up with this weird thing, or I went on this hike and now I feel like this, or etc. And so, yeah, I don't really understand it all yet, but I'm a convert. Don't worry about that.
Okay. And what do you think means that you've kept on? Why do you keep coming back when, you've got other options and you've tried other options? What's different about this approach that keeps you coming back? Apart from my magnetic personality, obviously.
Obviously. Just as I said, I think it's just because I feel like you have my back, and no matter what issue I have, even if it's actually not related at all to what we're doing, because it's all interconnected, right? The emotions and the work and the motherhood and the everything. So I sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm feeling okay. This week I'm fine. I probably don't need you, Jody. And then we sit down and have a chat, and maybe we talk about my business, maybe we talk about my hips or the way I swim or whatever. And so I feel like what I love about it is it's so tailored for me, and you're very versatile and able to adjust. So sometimes we have a plan of what we're going to do, and then life happens, and then we have to adjust things. And so I always feel like I'm in safe hands, and that you will meet me and my needs wherever they are.
Okay. Okay. Great. Great. That's good to know. And so, up to now, what has been the most surprising results that you've got from this journey, would you say?
Probably, and this is something I need to get back to, is getting more stability in my shoulders and my hips, and the relationship between my shoulders and my hips, as well as no. So the surprising thing there is I'm not doing push-ups or anything hardcore, but doing really slow, what would you call them, isolated movements, which really helped strengthen. I felt it. I even could see it, in my abs, or my lateral felt stronger. And yeah, so that was really surprising, in very short amount of time, of these very short focused exercises where I didn't really sweat. It didn't feel like you're doing anything, but it made a huge difference in the relationship between my um, hips and my shoulders. And the other thing that I found really interesting and very, very important was you teaching me how to walk. So
Oh, I'm so glad you brought this up. I love teaching people how to walk. So
I,
what was so mind-blowing about that?
but I truly felt like I was dragging a leg behind, like totally manky. And I'd be
Technical
quite
term,
conscious.
obviously.
I conscious. I walk quite often, just small little walks. Try to do it every day. And some days I was like, I don't know how to put my leg, my foot, etc., etc. So when we went on those optimized walks and you sort of broke it down, um, I could understand what I was doing wrong and adjust it. It's not perfect yet, but I sort of know that when I feel these twinges, I've probably been overcorrecting in some way, and to really consciously think about it. So that was really strange, going to someone asking them can you teach me how to walk?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I don't think that's what you said. I think you said, look, I've got this problem with my leg. And after a bit of testing, I was like, you know what? I think we need to put this all together and like go for a walk. And I think I remember you looking at me like, okay. I'm now paying her to teach me to walk. This, like, where's the camera? Somebody please get me off this comedy roadshow. But I do remember, first of all, I remember the walk was all related to food. And you were like, could you just shut up with your tomato cans and your mini sausage rolls and, your tuna fish cans and everything's food. We've got this pepper pot. But I do remember you thinking, I do remember seeing a couple of light bulbs on your face where you're like, oh yeah, that feels quite different. So, yeah, it's such a fun thing to teach as well. I'm glad you enjoyed it as much as I did. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Okay, so then last question, I think. What are you what's been the most life-changing thing so far? What are you most proud about? How do you see the future? Or how is your outlook on your own ability to get through life on your own 2 feet as an upright biped changed or different as a result of your experience so far?
That's many, many questions in one,
I
Jodie.
know. I did
Throw
one
in
of
there.
those. Did you see? It's a Kawasaki karate question.
I'll take it how I want then, shall I? Um, just that to be more aware of my body in space, I think, and that um, just everything being interconnected, the mindset, the emotions, your hormones, your eating, the stress levels, and I guess one of the other surprising things is just neutral, what do you call it, neutral spine, when I lie down and sort of put my legs up on something, and there's no exercise there, but it's just putting yourself in a position, and that sort of helps. So how do I see the future? um I feel like just before summer, we had really got to a stage where I was feeling really good and less niggles and things. And then we sort of drifted apart. No, life came in and we had less of a regular thing. And I got a bit lazy probably with my exercises. But I'm hoping that, we're over that hump now and sort of on the stage where I'm going to be able to I better understand what I need to do to help myself when I feel different niggles, and to be more gentle with myself. You helped me realize that my cortisol levels, my stress hormone was firing constantly, and that can have all different implications on my body and my mind and welfare and things. So that was something I hadn't really thought of before, and I think people had tried to tell me that, but it didn't really get through to me. So I think you helped me do that. So I think it's still, there's still a process to go through, but I feel like I've already learned a lot from you, and that when things get to this next sort of stable level, maybe I'll be able to say goodbye to you. It's your wish, right?
Well, let's take it one step at a time. I don't think I'm ready for a divorce next year.
No.
I think I'm sure we'll find other things to do. No, just joking. But yeah, okay. So to anybody that may be sitting on the fence, who, like you, has maybe been sniffing my butt for a long time or following me on social media, what would you say? What would you say to them? How would you get them off the fence? Or yeah, what would you say?
What would I say? I should have arranged an actual pitch for this, but maybe I'll work on that later. Have a chat with Jodie. She's the real deal. She will be able to help you in many different ways. She's really got your back. She really cares. She's a really fun person, and she's got many, many tools in her toolbox. And I would not hesitate. If you're feeling a niggle somewhere, which most people are, honestly, most people say, oh, I've got this thing, I've got that thing. I'm like, go to Jodie. We're used to going to a physio, we have 9 sessions, and then that's it. And then 6 months later, it comes back or something different. This will not be the case with Jodie. She'll really get to the heart of the issue and probably open up a whole other boxes along the way. But you're in safe hands. You're in good hands. Jodie's lots of fun, and she really is an expert in what she does. There you go.
Wow, I'm glad you didn't prepare a pitch. I might have cried. I'm feeling all emotional. Okay, really good, really good. Thank you very much. Those are all the questions I have.